Do Trump haters know or care what Donald Trump actually did to get his guilty verdict just recently here? Let's watch this clip from a woman on Piers Morgan's show. It's so funny. The answer is she does not know why Donald Trump was convicted and why he's guilty, but she's happy about it.
The panelist here is celebrating that the rule of law has been vindicated and overturned 234 years of American legal tradition. I would challenge her to see if she could possibly articulate how and what crime Trump committed, because so far Alvin Bragg, the DA, has failed to do so. The judge in the case, Judge Merchan, has failed to do so. And they can't do it because Trump didn't commit any of the crimes for which he's been convicted.
Let's watch that again. When I was watching this the first time, I burst out laughing. That is one of the, oh shit, one of the biggest oh shit faces I've seen in a while. Look at the way she's smiling, and then she realizes, oh crap, what am I going to say here? Even you could tell like the gulp, she goes, let's watch that again. Watch her face go from excited and giddy to just like, oh no, am I going to have to defend this? I don't know what I'm talking about in this case.
I would challenge her to see if she could possibly articulate how and what crime Trump committed, because so far Alvin Bragg, the DA, has failed to do so. The judge in the case, Judge Merchan, has failed to do so. And they can't do it because Trump didn't commit any of the crimes for which he's been convicted.
Well, let's just ask quickly before I go to Kevin. Francesca, just on that point, what crime did Trump commit?
Okay, get ready for one of the funniest answers you've seen in a while.
Francesca, just on that point, what crime did Trump commit?
It was financial crimes. It was white collar crimes. That is exactly what they charged him. He was convicted on.
What was the crime?
It's New York State law.
I understand. What was the crime?
It is
This is going very poorly.
I know.
Francesca,
I don't even like it. It is hang on, Mark, he just got convicted on 34 counts.
Francesca, what was the crime?
Of like cooking the actual books.
What was the crime?
You are not allowed. So you are not allowed.
And then here, like in a way, I kind of respect her strategy that she does right here. Is just, I know I'm wrong. Everyone on the panel knows I'm wrong. I'm just gonna get loud here. I'm gonna bring the energy and see if I can just energy kind of my Kevin Hart, all the flash, get my way out of this just on energy alone. So let's see what happens.
To use your own financial, like your own money to pay off somebody, and then he logged it as something different. He logged it as just a regular payment, but he was actually paying off this porn star to keep quiet, which if he hadn't been running for president would not have mattered, but he was.
That was probably the last like 15 seconds there was probably the most sensible thing she said. Just her strategy of throwing spaghetti at the wall. That was pretty much accurate what she said there, but then she goes off the rails here right now again.
And so it impacted campaign finance laws in New York State. Okay, that is what Juan Merchan just oversaw this. Alvin Bragg brought these charges because Michael Cohen was already sentenced to 3. Look, I'm no expert. Let me just say, hang on.
Francesca,
you are no expert.
By the way.
Francesca, the campaign finance law is a federal law.
Hang on, anyway, Francesca. I want to go to Mark.
So that Michael Knowles, the guy smiling in like the split screen beside that woman, I guess her name is Francesca, says, or he calls her out later because it looks like she definitely Googles the legal technical term, which is falsifying business records. She brings that up a little bit later. I'll show that in a second. But this brings up the question, I think, are a lot of Trump's haters just like this? Like they just don't like Trump. Whatever the TV tells them Trump did, they'll just assume that he did do. I mean, I guess to their defense, you would think that the legal system has the good of like the American people's back. But on this one, I think there's a lot of question to should this have even been brought to a trial in the first place. I think that's the question here, and what a lot of people on the right and just a lot of people in America in general, like this other guy in the panel here, says he's a Democrat. He probably is, and even he has a major issue with why this trial and why now, it being just the fact that it's like months before this presidential election. It's all very fishy, but this brings up the question, at least I want to ask, that all these other people celebrating these guilty counts from Trump, do they even know why or what happened? Or are they just so obsessed with like the Trump derangement syndrome, orange man bad, that they're just happy anyway, no matter what happens, as long as it's Trump taking an L?
Oh my God! Some questions that some of you might have. Can a convicted felon run for president? Oh my God! Oh my God!
Because part of me was like, yay! And part of me was like, you know what? This is really serious. Yay! This is really serious. Now, this is a man, yay! This is a man who made my life a living hell for 4 years, has made the life of our country a living hell for 6 years, and so he deserves to be accountable. He has been Teflon Don.
By the way, that woman's actually on national television, Ana Navarro, who is a complete hack, the biggest joke of a talking head on news I've ever seen, actually. She's worse than Don Lemon, I think. Your life's a living hell. You get paid probably millions of dollars to just sit on there and say, oh, yeah, a man is getting convicted. A man is guilty. Yay. Just a hateful idiot that gets paid millions of dollars. How's that hell for you? Your life is great. You get paid probably 300 times actually what you should be getting paid.
34 out of 34 convicted, 34 felony charges. God bless. This is the moment we have been waiting for.
And here's the clip of Michael Knowles calling out Francesca for Googling what Donald Trump actually did.
I do want to just say, look, so the crimes were falsifying business records. Now, the reason I didn't know that before is because I'm not a lawyer and I'm not the journalist.
But it's very telling that even the liberals who are going on television to defend this ruling have to Google in the breaks to figure out what the crime was. and even then, I'm sorry to say, misrepresent what the actual supposed crime was. The reason here that this has to take... Well, excuse me one second, Francesca.
So to close out here, I'm basically making this video to kind of support what Michael Knowles said there, or at least a similar sentiment, that the people who are even the biggest Trump haters, do they even know what Donald Trump's actually guilty of, or will they just believe whatever the television says? There's been basically 10 years now of just an onslaught against this guy. Is that Trump derangement syndrome in some people so strong that they'll believe anything? Whatever you say Trump did negatively, I'm all for that. So, and to be honest, there are people as well who are just will kind of believe and do whatever Trump says, or anything that Trump does, they're all for that. But I still think for sure, even though I think the pendulum's swinging back a little bit, I think the people that are kind of the anti-Trump crowd still hold the majority of the power in colleges, institutions, media, things like that. So I still think it's worth to call out people who are just anti-Trump, knee-jerk anti-Trump, and question them, like, do you really believe this, or is this Trump derangement syndrome? Because I still think there's a lot more of that than there is on the other side, at least from in terms of like who has the most power in media and in institutions. So with that said, thanks for watching the video. Have a good day.